Hey, I'm April, and I'll be showing you my steps in doing realistic drawing of the eye. This is intended for beginners who are willing to learn the process. But whether you are a beginner or an advanced artist, I encourage you to grab your materials and draw with me. Before I could start, I would like to present to you the tools that I will be using. Ready? Let's begin. I lowered the brightness and increased the contrast for this part of the video in order for you to see what I'm drawing. Step 1. Draw a horizontal line. If you want to, you could use a ruler for that. Draw an oval shape at the center of your line. Your drawing would look like this. To make room for the tear duct, draw a slanting line. For the iris, draw a circle at the center of the eye. Since you have your eyelids, upper and lower parts of your iris are covered. Next, I'm highlighting the reflection of the eye. It usually follows the curve of the eye, and it appears where the light hits the eyes. Since the eye is bulging, put a light shadow below it since our light source is positioned above. Now I'm removing extra outlines so that we can now begin with our shading. I use 2B mechanical pencil to begin my shading process. I don't use dark pencils directly if I'm unsure with my drawing. Initially, I use 2B pencils to make a preview of my drawing. When shading the iris, I usually follow the curve where I draw lines pointing outward. But if you don't want to go into details, you could just shade the entire iris in one direction. Next, I'm adding another layer to the pupil so that it would appear darker. Now I'm shading the lines of the eyelids. Using HB pencil, I make an initial layer of the skin. Using a tissue, blend the entire area to make the lines appear smooth. To make highlights, I'm using a kneaded eraser. The advantage of making light shades first is you could lift them easily if you want to make corrections with your drawing. Now we are going to go darker with our shades. I'm using a 4B pencil to add contrast to the drawing. I always shade the dark parts first. Tips for using your pencil while shading. For lighter shades, hold the pencil at the other end, which is opposite from the tip. This will distribute the pressure throughout the pencil and will result to even shading. Wherein if you hold the pencil near the tip, the pressure will concentrate at the bottom of the pencil. This will lead to heavy shadings. Darken other parts where the light can't reach. To blend the pencil marks, I'm using an acrylic brush. For your eyeball to not appear flat, you can use the excess lead from the brush to make light shades. To make it appear round, you can do contour techniques by following the curve of the round eyeball. At this moment, I'm using a Derwent charcoal pencil to fill in white parts of the drawing. Next, I'm using 8B pencil to make the pupil completely black. Make sure to avoid the highlights. To fill in all the parts of the paper, I add another shades at directions opposite from the previous layer that I had made. Blend them completely. I also like to scatter the lead around the pupil so that it will have a smooth appearance. This time, I'm holding the pencil near the tip to make heavy shadings. To make heavy contrast to the drawing, I like to use woodless charcoal pencil because it makes the darkest shade. For other lines, I only use 4B pencil. Lines from the eyelids are not that dark compared to the pupils, so I use pencils with lighter shades. You may want to add highlights on the eyeball, so a kneaded eraser is really helpful. Dig in deeper to the details of the eyelashes by using 8B pencil. Blend them from time to time. Try to go back and forth to the different shades you were drawing. Make sure that you won't go from light to dark real quick. They must be blended equally from darkest to lightest, or vice versa. For the eyelashes, I'm using 4B pencil first. Blend it, add some highlights, blend it again, and darken other lashes using 8B pencil. You can watch me add details to the eyes, like eyebrows, eyelashes, and shades under the eyes. Add highlights again by using Kneaded eraser. To make your eye appear more realistic, you can add white inks or white gel pen on the highlights. There you have it, your very own realistic eye. I hope this helps you in starting your art journey. If you like this video, make sure to give it a like and don't forget to share and subscribe. That's it for now. Thank you and goodbye.